Jason Fox, or simply Foxy to millions, is best known today as the tough but thoughtful face of SAS, who dares wins. But before TV, he lived a very different life. 20 years in the Royal Marines and Special Boat Service, the UK's equivalent to the Navy SEALs. The SBS took him from jungle patrols to high-risk hostage rescues and intense combat tours in Afghanistan. Yet behind the medals and adrenaline, Jason was fighting another battle with his own mind. After being diagnosed with PTSD, he was medically discharged, a turning point that would change the course of his life. In this video, we'll hear Jason in his own words, 3 incredible stories from selection, combat, and failure, each revealing a different side of what it means to be Special Forces. When people imagine Special Forces selection, they often picture drill sergeants screaming in candidates' faces. But Jason reveals that UK Special Forces selection is very different. No shouting, no theatrics, just a brutal test of whether you want to be there or not.
The selection process is like 9 months, like fundamentally it's 9 months, and it's broken into phases. The first phase, the thing with selection is no one shouts. It's not like the TV show. In fact, no one shouts at you in the Special Forces anyway. Everyone's just on it. Do your stuff.
Yeah. Really? Yeah.
You go on selection, and you come from the military where some people need to be shouted at. They are that sort of person. Whereas on selection, if you don't want to be there, you don't have to be there. And like the amount of time you sort of like live in a really little camp in Wales, and your first phase is 4 weeks up on the hills, running over the mountains on your own. Basically, you get given a route, and you've got to do it at a certain time. You don't know what the time is. Doing like anything from 20 to 30k a day, kilometers with packs on. And each morning, so I did a winter course. Each morning, you'd get up at like 4:05 in the morning. Big dormitory of about 80 blokes. It's stinking kit everywhere. It's dark outside, it's raining, and you're like, and you just see lads they're just like, nah, it, I ain't doing it, and you just stay there. Really? And then they just pack their bags and go. Gone.
That's what makes SAS and SBS selections so unique. It's about self-motivation. No one's forcing you. The instructors don't care if you quit, because if you don't truly want it, you'll never survive the missions. Foxy shows us that Special Forces aren't built by pressure from above, but by the inner drive of the operator. Of all his tours, one firefight in Afghanistan scarred Jason the most. Enemy spotters had tracked a friendly helicopter coming in. As the team disembarked, chaos exploded, gunfire everywhere. Jason watched a teammate shot in the head, and for the first time in his career, thought, I might die here.
It was a half-hour flight time, and we're in the back of Chinook helicopters and sort of flying in and minding your own business, just sort of like in your own world. And then got the old 6 minutes call. So by this stage, we're at the helicopters, there's 3 Chinooks, boom, like thundering in, like boom, 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 boom. Everything's in night vision, so it's all that green haze. And we were like 6 minutes out. We were like 100 foot above the deck. Pilots are throwing it about, and then the sky just erupted into like world's worst fireworks display. As in, like, they had like what we call dickers, but enemy spotters out, and they had like heavy machine guns, rocket propelled grenades, trying to ping us out the sky. So you could see this, you could feel the helicopter getting hit, rattled by small arms fire. That went on for 6 minutes. And then we landed, and we landed in the sort of like on the button, sort of like pretty much on the buildings we thought he was being held in, and it was straight out into a massive gunfight. Geezer got killed straight away, one of our lot shot in the head, running off the back of the helicopter. Not my one, that was on another heli. And just got into a little, I remember being in a ditch at one point, having like been in a gunfight for about 20 seconds, thinking, what the f have we done here?
That moment, lying in a ditch, unsure if he would survive, strips away the Hollywood image of Special Forces invincibility. Jason admits the fear, and that honesty is what makes his story so powerful. Even the best trained operators aren't fearless, they just keep moving despite the fear. Not every story is about life and death. Sometimes the worst moments are when everything goes wrong in front of your mates. Jason was on a ship, working as the breacher, the man responsible for blowing the door with a shotgun. But when he tried to fire, nothing happened, the gun jammed, and what happened next became one of his most embarrassing memories.
Hard work. Anyway, I had the shotgun that you use, the shotgun for blowing hinges off doors to get into buildings. So I've got the shotgun. It's pitch black. and there's it's a 2-squadron run through, so there's 2 squadrons of blokes in this small, like an area like this. We're crammed in like that, waiting to go, and everyone's getting hot, and they're like, fucking let's go, let's get this fucking run through done. I'm down on one knee, and I'm fucking trying to load up the shotgun, so you load it up. Anyway, they're all like, fucking hurry up. I'm like, hold, because that's what you say before you know, if you don't want anyone to go, you say hold. So I'm there and I'm trying to load this thing up. Next thing I'm like, and it's like jammed, and blokes are like, what's fucking going on? And I'm like, hold. And I'm like, fucking hell, I'm new. I've only been there a few months. And they're like, what's going on anyway? The bloke that's running the range, this guy called Mick's like, what the fuck's going on there? And I'm like, fucking shotgun's jammed. So he's come over, he's got his fucking torch. He's like, give me that here. He's like, fucking looking. He's like, it'd fucking help if you put the rounds in the right way round. And I'm like, literally, everyone's like, whoa, banging, because it's a ship that we're on there, banging the metal fucking wall. Boom, 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 boom. Who is it? Name and shame, who is it? And I'm like, no, don't tell him. And he's like, who's that? And I'm like, oh, and he's like, who is it? And I'm like, it's Foxy. He goes, it's Foxy. Oh! And I'm like, fuck. And there was one of the lads who I'd passed selection with, so we joined at the same time.
Failure is part of the game, even at the very top. Jason's honesty about being shamed in front of his team and the laughter that followed shows the human side of special forces. These men are highly trained but not perfect. They fail, they get called out, and they bounce back stronger. From brutal selection to terrifying firefights to embarrassing mistakes, Jason Fox has lived it all. What makes his story unique is not just his time in the SBS, but his willingness to talk about the reality, the fear, the failures, and the struggles after service. Jason's openness about PTSD has helped break stigma for countless veterans, proving that strength isn't just found on the battlefield, but in the courage to face your demons. And that's why Jason Fox remains one of the most respected Special Forces voices today.